All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I would like to start off by giving all praises and blessings to who the world ignorantly calls God, all right, and Jesus Christ, all right, whose real names in the Hebrew tongue, okay, the real name that would have been said 6,000 years ago, all right, for both of these names is Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, all right, Bahashem Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the elect, pushing this word, pushing this truth in all truth and in sincerity, risking life and livelihood in so doing, especially in these days and times. All right, in the end times. All right, these are the end times, and so things are coming out. Revelations are coming out, especially regarding us waking up, finding out the truth of who we are, okay, which has been hidden for so long, all right, and been hidden intentionally, and so uh, the plan is again, all right, the plan is again for them to try and hide who we are, okay, and so I just you know going into a lesson. So this scripture came into my mind. All right. It just stuck out. So I just said, okay, I didn't really have anything to do. So I just said, I'll just do a lesson on Isaiah. All right. Isaiah uh, 42 and 22. All right. And I'm going to start up at 18 and I'm just going to jump around. This is Isaiah 42 and 18. It says, "Hear, ye deaf, and look, ye blind, that ye may see." Okay. And can the blind see or hear? No. Okay. So these are people who have vision. These are people who have the ability to hear, which are our people. Okay. The so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, but they refuse to hear this word. They refuse to hear the prophecies which are in the book, because the prophecies and this word comes along with discipline and integrity, okay, which our people are lacking, all right, especially in these days and times. Our people have, chosen, as the saying goes, okay, as the precept of man goes, if you can't beat them, then join them. Well, that's what our people have ultimately done. They, you know, unable to uh, defeat Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. All right, uh, you know, and do what they want to do, because 2/3 of our people, they're lukewarm. All right, they're lukewarm. Individuals. Okay, so they want to make it here in America, in Babylon the Great. They want to make it here and prosper and be well known and well favored here, along with the well favored harlot, which is America, Babylon the Great. Okay, so and the Lord is not dealing with that. All right, the Lord is not dealing with that. So our people are what? They are deaf. Okay, they are blind. Okay, because they don't see uh to the end of all things, which will be the kingdom of heaven. All right. They can't see that. They can't see what they see is what tomorrow brings. Okay. Them having to pay, property taxes on it, on the home. All right. Uh, you know, get with a woman who everyone slept with, get with a man who has another man as his boyfriend. Okay, this is the reality. Okay, here in Babylon the Great, that our people, 2/3 of our people, have settled for. All right, the scriptures say settled on the lees. All right, so our people have settled on their lees. All right. Verse 19, who is blind but my servant, or deaf as my messenger that I sent? All right. Who is blind as he that is perfect, and blind as the Lord's servant? All right. And so, us as servants, we, pushing this word in truth, we're also blind. We're also, you know, deaf. All right. Verse 28 says, seeing many things, but thou observeth not. Okay. Opening the ears, but he heareth not. All right. So, again, uh, these people have ears. These people have ears. I mean, eyes. These people have ears. Okay. But they refuse to see. They refuse to hear. All right. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. All right. And that's what we do. All right. We magnify the law to make it honorable, saying what? This is the way, walk ye in it. Now, you're not going to be able to, we also, teach that, you won't be able to keep all of the laws, statutes, and commandments. But those that you are able to keep, all right, well, then it's best to observe them, all right, and live by them, okay, because they're not bad for you, okay, if you do them, but then they're beneficial, okay. But verse 22 says, but this is a people robbed and spoiled. And so all of Israel, okay, you people are wondering who the real Israelites are. Well, they say they're the real Israelites and they're the real Jews. And how could they be the real Jews? Well, the real Jews, all right, are a people that are robbed and spoiled, okay? And we have been robbed. The southern kingdom, the northern kingdom, okay, are robbed and spoiled. Okay, they stole us from Africa, brought us to America. Okay, those that were here already, they came and robbed them and stole their land. Okay, in North and South America. Okay, so we are robbed and spoiled. Okay, because they, even to this day, they're still stealing our finances, whatever we accumulate. All right, they're still stealing. All right. They're even now trying to put a muzzle on this truth. Okay. Trying to keep you people in the dark about the atrocities that they have committed against your families. In the past, during slavery, and even now today, they are still committing atrocities against you. This place is, a land of no justice for you Israelites. So you trying to get comfortable here and make a living is ultimately ridiculous and crazy. All right. It says they are all of them. All right. Snared in holes. So no matter if you're in South America, okay, or in North America, or wherever you are in the world as an Israelite, okay, whether you acknowledge that you're an Israelite or not, You're somewhere in a hole where the snare is that you have no clue of who you are. All right. And those of you who do know who you are, you're being oppressed. Okay. They won't let you, they won't let you up. Okay. They won't let up on their oppression and aggression. All right. Because not only are they oppressing you, they are using aggression against you. All right. And they are hid in prison houses. So you don't see any of those people calling themselves Jews in prison houses. Okay. And even, they'll like to bring up the thing that occurred, all right, over in Auschwitz, all right. They like to bring that up. But guess what? That only lasted maybe a year or two. Okay. We are still, wherever we are, still in prisons. South America, North America, around the world, we're still hid in prisons. All right. And we're hid in prisons of ignorance as well, because our people don't know who they are. They're steady calling themselves Christians, saying, oh man, I don't want to be a Hebrew Israelite. Because you are hid in a prison that's in your own body. Your own mind is your prison. Okay. Oh, I hate those camps. You're in prison. Okay. Esau has created a prison. Esau has created a prison. Okay. that is so sophisticated, you don't even need to be behind bars. Okay, and he's building and capitalizing on this prison now. Okay, there's a series on Netflix called The Illuminati Chronicles. Okay, and it goes into the ultimate plan of these elites, which is ultimately to implant an RFID chip, which is, according to the scriptures, the mark of the beast. Okay, you have a lot of Israelite camps who are refusing to acknowledge it. All right. But we know that, the spirit is not dealing with those individuals. All right. And so they're going to update, the prison that they already have. You got Jake out here gang banging. All right. And, you got Israelites who, they're out here on these podcasts. Salakia. And they're teaching, people, telling people, yeah, you're the Israelites. And guess what? These people don't give a damn. They're in a mental prison. You could go tell your a loved one, close loved one, that they're the Hebrew Israelites. They wouldn't give a damn. You know what they care about? What's going to put some money in their pocket? Okay? What's going to fry that pork chop? They don't give a damn about being a Hebrew Israelite. It's because they are captive to the prisons that are in their mind. Okay? This devil has them dumbed down. All right? And it's a snare. All right? It says, they are for a prey. Okay? The 1948ers, the J-Man. Okay? The J-Man. All right? A man running around calling himself Jewish. Hey, they're not for a prey. Okay? The J-Man is on the board with every legal law firm, okay, around the world. Okay? They're connected with every power structure around the world. Okay? They have their web is one that covers the whole earth. Okay? So they're not for a prey, but our people are for a prey. No matter how strong the Southern Kingdom may be, yeah, they could whoop a motherfucker ass, but guess what? Hey, they're still in prison. Okay? They're still in captivity. Okay, I was watching a documentary on World War II. Okay, Japan, when Japan attacked Pearl Harbor. Okay, it was a surprise attack. Okay, but guess what? You had Japanese, you know, people here in America. Yeah, those Edomites didn't really rise up against those Japanese people here in America. They didn't rise up against them. Okay, that's because Japan has a strong homeland where they had resources. Okay, you wasn't seeing Japanese people hanging from trees. You didn't see Germans hanging from trees of what took place at Pearl Harbor. Okay, you didn't see that. Okay, and even during that time, you still had so-called Negroes being hung from trees, being mistreated. All right. And so that's something that this devil is going to have to pay for drastically. Okay. So they are for a prey and none delivereth. Guess what? My great, well, not my great, but my grandfather was in World War II. All right. And guess what? He helped to liberate, all right, the J Man, all right, his squadron, all right, and other so-called black squadrons. They helped to liberate the J Man out of the condition that he was in during World War II. All right. So they got delivered, but nobody have delivered us. All right. So they are for a prey and none delivereth, for a spoil and none saith restore. Every time there's a conversation about reparations, all right, because reparations could truly restore our people. All right. Now you will have some people who will, foolishly spend and lose their money. But for the most part, reparations would restore our people. But, they know this, and their plan is to never have you restored. You're talking about generational wealth. You better forget about it. Okay. The moment that they think that you even are on a level, they're going to mow you down. Okay, they're going to mow you down, and you can say, "Oh, he's negative. I hate that negative energy." Well, you try. Okay, you try it, nigga. And it'll be like trying to get your. Right now, it's like trying to get yourself out of the quicksand. As many obstacles that this devil is throwing at you on a daily basis to keep you dumbed down, to keep you in the condition that you're in right now. All right. Verse 23, and I'm going to end it here. It says, who among you will give ear to this? Who will hearken and hear for the time to come? And so the elect, okay, they have hearkened, they have heard, and they have risen and stood up. Okay, and now they're singing this song, all right, on the four corners of the earth. Okay. And Lord willing, they will be of the elect, all right, and will pay, okay, give this devil, okay, what he so desperately needs and deserves, a swift kick right up the ass, all right. So anyway, with that being said, Lord willing, you will edify till next time. Shalom.